Hello, students. Today we are going to read Shirley Toulson's poem, A Photograph. In easy words, this poem uses an old photograph to show us a mother's childhood memories and the silent sadness of losing her. We will understand the poem step by step so that it becomes very clear.
The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. Students, imagine an old photograph. Instead of calling it a photo, the poet says cardboard. Cardboard is simple, fragile, and easy to bend, just like memories, which can also be delicate and easily lost. So here, cardboard stands for the memories the photo holds. In the picture, the poet's mother, about 12, is holding hands with her two cousins. It's a sunny day, and they smile at the camera, their hair blowing in the wind. The photo captures one happy frozen moment of childhood. The poet uses special tricks in the poem to help us picture and feel what's happening. For example, words like smile through their hair and paddling help you imagine how the girls look and what they are doing. This is called imagery. It's like painting a picture with words. There's also alliteration, which means some words start with the same sound, like stood still to smile. And finally comes enjambment. It means the lines of the poem run into each other without stopping, just like when you're talking or thinking and don't pause at the end of every sentence. This helps the poem feel more natural and like a real memory. A sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born, and the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. In these lines, the poet lovingly describes her mother's face in the old photograph. Young, innocent, and full of life, taken long before the poet was born. The sea in the background still looks the same even after many years. This highlights the contrast between nature's permanence and the brevity of human life. The phrase terribly transient feat means that the girls' lives and childhood moments were short-lived, just like the waves that wash away quickly. The poet is gently reminding us that time changes people, but nature stays almost the same. Some 20-30 years later, she'd laugh at the snapshot. "See Betty and Dolly," she'd say, "and look how they dressed us for the beach." The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both wry with the labored ease of loss. Many years later, the poet's mother looks at the old photograph and laughs fondly, remembering her cousins. "See Betty and Dolly," she says, "and the funny clothes they wore to the beach." For the mother, that beach holiday is now just a memory from her childhood. For the poet, her mother's laughter has now become her own memory, something from the past. When the poet says, "both wry with the labored ease of loss," she means that both, her mother remembering her childhood and the poet remembering her mother, feel a bit of sadness hidden inside their smiles. They both have accepted the loss, but it still hurts quietly. Let's discuss the figures of speech used in the poem. First one is alliteration. That means repetition of the same sound at the beginning of nearby words. For example, her past, mine is her laughter. Here the soft H sound gives rhythm and flow to the line. Second is juxtaposition. Means two different ideas are placed side by side for effect. Here, the mother's past is contrasted with the poet's present. It shows how time changes what we hold dear. Third one is metaphor, which means one thing is compared to another without using like or as. For example, the sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter. Here, her laughter is compared to a memory or possession, something the poet holds now instead of the sea holiday. Next one is oxymoron, which means two opposite ideas are used together to express a complex emotion. Labored ease of loss. The words labored, showing struggle, and ease, showing peace, express how the poet feels calm yet deeply sad, a peaceful acceptance of loss. Now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. Its silence silences. Now the poet's mother has been dead for about the same number of years that she had lived when the photograph was taken. The poet feels a deep, quiet sorrow. There are no words left to describe it. When she says, its silence silences, she means that the stillness of death and the photograph's silence together make her completely speechless. The pain is so deep that words cannot express it. It shows the final stage of loss, calm acceptance where only silence remains. Let's discuss figures of speech in Its Silence Silences. First one is personification, giving human qualities to non-human things. Silence silences. Silence is shown as if it can act. And then, it is paradox, a statement that seems contradictory but reveals a truth. Silence silences. It seems illogical, yet it expresses how grief is so deep that words fail, only silence remains. The poem begins with a photograph and ends in silence. A journey from life to memory, from sound to stillness. It reminds us that though time moves on, love stays quietly forever.